Alright, this is a 7th grade Test 9 review, and we went over most of this today in class, but I wanted to put about the last half of this out online just in case some students wanted to study and kind of take a look. So I will at least show you all the types of problems you will see tomorrow, but I won't solve probably the first 8 to 10, and then after that we'll solve some more. Okay, here's one that we'll see. What is the probability of rolling a composite number less than 6 with one roll of a die? Remember, composite numbers are numbers that can be divided by more than 1 in itself. So, for example, 4 is a composite number less than 6 because it can be divided by 1, 2, and 4. Now, a prime number would be a number that can only be divided by 1 in itself, or basically 1 in itself are the only two numbers that are factors of that number. For instance, 2. 2 only has two factors, 1 and 2. 3 only has two factors, 1 and 3. Okay? 1, the number 1, is neither prime nor composite. Alright? The answer to this one is actually 1/6, because the only composite number less than 6 is 4 on a die. So that was 1/6. Alright. Number 2 is a mean and median question. Remember, mean, we're going to add up all the scores and then divide by how many there are. Median, we're going to put the scores in order, and it'll be the middle score. Number 3, an evaluation problem. All we have to do here is plug in the numbers for the letters. So this will actually read 0.2 times this quantity. So we're going to add 2.1 and 0.4 first, and then multiply it by 0.2. Okay? Remember, do what's in the parentheses first. Okay, number 4, this just uses a chart. We're comparing second and third place in this one. So just make sure you know who's in first, third, second, and fourth, so you can correctly figure out how many votes are more than which place. And then B, what fraction of the votes did one person have. That'll be Sally's votes. How many did Sally receive? What fraction? 26 over the total amount, and then we reduce that fraction. Find the area of a triangle. Okay, this one tomorrow we'll have to graph. If you need graph paper, feel free to ask for it. We have to graph it, and then what we're going to do is use our triangle area formula, 1/2 base times height. You have to figure out how long the base is and how long the height is, and then we'll go from there. And then, yeah, you do the multiply. 6, this one was has some weird words in it, and it'll use these two same words tomorrow with different numbers. But remember, 3/7 of those who rode were euphoric, and then the rest were this word. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but so if 3/7 were euphoric, that means the rest were this, and that's 4/7. And then we put that into a ratio, which would be 3 to 4. Number 7 we went over. If we know the perimeter, 56 centimeters, what is the length? Well, we know that this side has to be 10 as well if it's a rectangle. So we go 56 minus 10 minus 10. That brings us down to 36 centimeters. So we've got 36 centimeters to distribute between two sides that are the same length. So divide that by 2, we should get 18 centimeters. This triangle one, remember triangle angles add up to 180. So knowing that this is 90 and this is 20, and we want to find A, all of those should add up to 180. So we'll use that fact. And then once we get A, we should know C. A and C will be equal because they are vertical angles. And B, A and B form a straight line. Straight lines also equal 180 degrees, so A and B should add to 180. Number 9, 250 as a decimal. We just divide it by 100. We should get 2.5 as a decimal, or basically just move our decimal over 2 spots. Okay, right. 7/5 as a decimal. This one we take 7 divided by 5. We do that quick here. To turn things, fractions into a decimal, we actually just do the division. 7 divided by 5. A lot of times when we do this, Our numerator is smaller than the denominator, but this is okay. This one should be bigger than 1 because 5 over 5 is 1, so 7 over 5, we should get an answer bigger than 1. 5 goes into 7 once, multiply, subtract, bring down our 0, add decimals, goes straight up. 5 goes into 24 times, evenly, remainder of 0, 1.4 for our answer. And just a reminder that if you forget how to do that, I have a poster that shows us how to do that. And you can look at that tomorrow. A lot of us did go over this one. This bar tells me that 5, 7 will repeat forever. So it'll look like this. That pattern will continue. And we want to round it to 3 decimal places. So that's 3 places past our decimal. 1, 2, 3. We're going to round this number. It's either going to stay a 5 or it's going to go up. And it depends on this 7, or the next place value. 7 is 5 or greater, so anything 5 or greater, we round that up. So 34.576. Okay? See that tomorrow, or one like it. Divide 2.3 by 6 and write the quotient with the bar over the repetent. That just means that we're going to get a value that'll keep repeating, and we want to put a bar over that to show that it will repeat. So we'll probably get some extra digits in there. 6 goes into 2 no time. 6 goes into 23 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract, we get 5. Bring this down. 6 goes into 50 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtract, we get 2. Bring our 0 down. 20. We get not 6, 3. So 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract. We're going to keep getting 20, so we're going to keep seeing 3's here. So 0.38333333. So we'll write that like this, because that 3 is going to continue on forever, but only that one. Alright? Bar over the repeated part. Okay? Next. Solve 12 over 8 equals x over 0.6. Lots of different ways to do this one. You could do, well, the easiest way to do this one, since we don't have a clear way to get from 8 to 0.6, is to do our cross multiply divide. So where we cross multiply the two numbers, so the diagonals, 0 times 0.6. So we'll multiply those two, and then divide by the one diagonal from the letter. That should give us our correct answer. So if we do 12 times 0.6 divided by 8, that should give us what x is. Lots of different ways to do that one though. That's just one solution. Or one way to get to the solution. Okay, solve. 8 equals 5.24 plus c. This one to solve. We want to figure out what plus this gets us 8. So if we do 8 minus 5.24, we should get c. And the way that we can check that is, once we get an answer for c, if we add 5.24 plus our answer, we should get 8. So for this one, it is 8 minus 5.24. Because we're going to do the inverse. Okay, the inverse of adding and subtracting. And that gets us to the point that we're looking for c. Because remember, whatever we do on one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. If I get rid of 5.24 here, I have to get rid of 5.24 here in order to keep the equality of the equation, and that gets us to C. I believe it's 2.76 for C. This one is a little bit different. It's the same concept, except for we aren't going to add. I know we're subtracting here, but we're subtracting a letter. So 1 minus something gets us here. So if we add these two, we're going to get the wrong answer. It actually is 1.000, or 1 minus 0.093. We subtract those, we get 709. That should be what x is. And just like our last one, if we do 1 minus 0.907, we should get that. Okay. I want to see how much time we have here. We're running close. Okay. So we'll go through these ones pretty quick. 4 2/3, 3/4 plus 2 1/2. So we're adding all these together. We need a common denominator. So 3, 4, and 2. Common denominator between those. How about 12? That's a good one. So this would be 4 and something over 12 plus something over 12 plus 2 and something over 12. So we multiply this 3 by 4 to get 12. So 2 times 4 is 8. To get this to 12, we multiply by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. To get this to 12, we do 2 times 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. And then we add our numerators together. So we have 8 plus 9 plus 6. So that's 17 plus 6, which is 23 over 12. And 4 plus 2 is 6. So 6 and 23 twelfths. Well, I know that how many 12s going to 23 is what we're looking for now. And I know 1 does, so we're going to add, we're going to go 23 minus 12. And we should get 1, 1, 11. So we're going to add 1 to 6. That's a 7. We're going to have 11 left over. 7 and 11, 12. Alright. That should be our final answer for that one. So common denominators whenever we add or subtract. And we'll see that we're going to do a subtraction one next. Okay? 5 1/8 minus the quantity of 2 minus 1 1/4. So we want to do this first. What we're going to do for this is 2, we're going to turn into 1 and 4 over 4. Okay, now that's still 2, it's a disguised 2. This is 1, 4 over 4 is 1. So 1 and 4/4 is equal to 2. But now we can actually do our subtraction here. So we've got 1 minus 1, which is 0, but 4 minus 1 is 3. So we get 3/4 in that parentheses. So we have 5 1/8 minus 3/4. And then from there, we would want a common denominator again. So looks like we want 8. 5 1/8 minus times by 2 times by 2, 6/8. But we run into one more issue. Check my time again quick. I know we're running close. We are running close. I'll continue this one on a part 2, so stay tuned.